Okay, for the metabolism, let's start right from the beginning. We eat food and drink, and that food and drink goes to your oral cavity. What is included in this food? When we say food, it includes proteins, lipids, and carbohydrates. So this is what food is. This all goes to your oral cavity, and once it gets to oral cavity, digestion starts. At the oral cavity, you produce saliva, and that initiates digestion in the oral cavity over here. From your oral cavity, the food goes further down into your stomach. The stomach produces gastric secretions, and further digestion takes place over here. Digestion of proteins and lipids takes place here. From the stomach, the food will move to the intestine over here. At the intestine, enzymes and hormones are produced to further digest the food. The digestion of hormones by the intestine will initiate secretion by the bile, secretion of bile by the liver, and also secretion from the pancreas. So all this pancreatic juice and from the gallbladder, the bile will go into the intestine, and all this will help further digestion. So what is happening the next step? All the food is fully digested over here. So you took proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and by the time they get roughly over here, all the food is now broken down into smaller components, and those smaller components are fatty acids, glycerol, amino acids, and monosaccharides. So now what happens? Monosaccharides and fatty acids and glycerols and all the amino acids will be absorbed into the circulation. So from the intestine, from the small intestine, they will go into the circulation. So glucose, amino acids, and fatty acids will go to the lymphatic system, as you know it from the previous lecture. So everything is now absorbed into the circulation. Now all that food that has been absorbed, the fatty acids, glucose, and amino acids, they have two choices within the cells. They could either be converted, so amino acids could be converted to proteins because as a building block. Glucose could be converted to glycogen for storage, for later storage, and fatty acids could become triglycerides. Or they could be, those fatty acids could be broken down into smaller carbon chains. Glucose could be broken into smaller carbon chains, and amino acids could be broken into smaller carbon chains, and these smaller carbon chains will enter into the mitochondria, and once they enter in the mitochondria, they will circle and eventually through the TCA cycle, and as a result they will release coenzymes, and those coenzymes will go through the electron transfer chain, and in the electron transfer system they will produce ATP. We're going to look at number of those reactions that take place. So basically, if you look at the glucose could be either converted to glycogen, or glucose could become pyruvic acid. This reaction, all this takes place where in the cytoplasm, but once it becomes a small carbon molecule like pyruvic acid, now pyruvic acid could enter mitochondria and go through the Krebs cycle and release furthermore energy.